Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message and I want to talk to the married couples for a minute. The reason why I'm making this video message is to tell you, if you are married, keep your in-laws out of your business. About 7 or 8 years ago, I talked about this in a video message, but I'm coming giving an updated version of this because many of you all are married, and I don't care where you are in your marriage. I don't care if you are going head to head with your spouse about various issues and concerns. I don't care if your marriage is great. I don't care if you and your spouse feel like, well, it's nothing wrong with me talking to my mom or my dad or my grandparent or my sibling about what's going on. It doesn't matter. You got to keep your family members or the in-laws out of your business. Now, I can talk about this freely because, as you all know, for those who are new here and you don't know, I was a married woman before. I got married very, very young. I was in my early 20s, and I stayed married for 10, almost 11 years. And so over the course of my marriage, when I would bump heads with my ex-husband, the first thing we both would do is run to our parent. Now, at the time, my ex-husband's father was deceased. His father died when I was pregnant with my firstborn, which is my son. And he just still has his mother. But he would go to his mother, tell her a lot of our business. He would tell her what he felt I did or said that was wrong, and he would tell her what was going on in our household. I also was guilty of calling my mother on the phone and calling my father up and sharing with them things that my ex-husband was doing. And over time, as things began to really get out of hand between my ex-spouse and I noticed that we could not really even come together, even when we tried to get along, because so much information about the inner workings of our marriage was put out there to various people in the family. It was kind of like we grew to almost literally hate each other. And so I learned a valuable lesson. And one of the valuable lessons that I learned is that when you get married, you have got to keep your personal business between you and your spouse, between you and your spouse. One thing you cannot do is put your mother, your father, your siblings, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, your friends. You cannot put them in a position to have to choose whose side they want to be on, because a lot of people, they want to be neutral. There are a lot of people, they take the neutral stance where they will feel like, okay, I'm not gonna pick my girl side, but I'm not gonna pick my guy side. I'm gonna be in the middle because I know how he is and I know how she is. But still, it causes confusion, and it makes the person who's receiving the information that you're giving about your spouse, it makes them uncomfortable. And it puts them in a position to where, let's just say they go ahead and they side with your husband or they side with your wife. It will cause you or your husband or your wife to then get angry with them. You will sit back and you will get angry at the friend, at your mother, at your father, at your grandparent, at your cousin, whoever you've run off at your mouth to in the family. You will get mad at them because you feel like no matter what, they need to be loyal to you. You will feel like your mom needs to believe whatever you tell her. She needs to accept whatever you tell her. And she needs to be equally angry with you at your spouse because that's your mother. She's not the mother of your husband. And fellas, you feel like that too. You feel like if I go to my mom, or if I go to my dad and I tell him what my wife is doing to me, or how she's talking to me, or she's not doing particular things that she's supposed to do, I want my mother and my father to be equally angry with me. And then what does this cause, people? This causes beefs in the family. If you ever want to see a very unfair fight and beef, and you want to see calculated strategic drama, look at the in-laws with someone who's married. Just look at the in-laws. The in-laws and their interaction with each other and how everybody treats each other, that is going to tell you everything about that particular family. When you come around, let's just say you the innocent bystander and you happen to be the friend, and you know that your guy or your girl, whoever you are, you know that they having issues within their marriage, and you know that they go to their mother and father and tell them everything that's going on. Let's say, excuse me, let's say they had a birthday party. Let's say they had a barbecue. Let's say they had maybe a baby shower. You're going to feel the tension in the room when you go. You're going to feel it. It's going to be so thick you can cut it with a knife, as they like to say. You're going to feel it. And again, you're put in the middle of a situation where you might have to choose a side. Because if you're the friend of the husband, okay, and you're siding with the husband, although you as the friend, you may know that that husband is really abusive. He's your friend, fellas. You fellas know if you have a guy friend that hits women. Because before he got married, you knew ex-girlfriends that he had. And you knew if he was physically or verbally abusive. And now that your guy is married, he's abusive to the wife. So if the wife went and she told her mother, told her father, told some cousins, told some friends, that information may have leaked out to you. And so now you're in a position where you are very uncomfortable because you want to side with your guy because that's your friend. So you're looking at it like my loyalty lies with my boy, not his wife. His wife is not my friend. Or you may be friends with the wife. You may be cool with the wife too. But you still, in a lot of these situations, you're going to pick your boy over the wife. Vice versa. Ladies, you will feel like, okay, I'm going and I'm telling my friend, my mother, my father, one of my cousins about what my husband is doing to me, or what he needs to do, or how he's treating me, and how he's talking to me. And it leaves tension there. It makes people uncomfortable. It leaves a lot of doors open. And sometimes all the people that surround it, meaning like within the family makeup, they may not come at you about what they're hearing, but you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it when your baby's having that birthday party. You're going to feel it when your baby is graduating. You're going to feel it when it's a barbecue. You're going to feel it when it's a trunk party. You're going to feel it when there's a vacation or an outing. It's going to be one side against the next side. If you got to call your mother-in-law or your father-in-law for something, they're going to have an attitude, or they may confront you about what their child told them. And then you're upset. And you all know what you know what happens? Because I'm going to tell you how the enemy works. And I'm speaking from personal experience. When you open up this door and you begin to tell your in-laws and your friends or other family members about what your spouse is or isn't doing, that puts your spouse in a position to become even more enraged with you as the husband or the wife. And sometimes what happens is when they come home, you all are going to get into a fight. Sometimes it's going to be verbal, and sometimes it may get physical. Can I tell you all something and be extremely transparent? Because I'm only revealing this to help you. And so some of you all can get deliverance. Sometimes both will happen. When me and my ex-husband were together, he would go spend time with his mother, spend time with his sister, spend time with co-workers and friends and his cousins, and he would talk about me. He would talk about me like a dog. He would tell them if I didn't clean up. He would tell them if I didn't cook. He would tell them if I cussed them out. He would tell them about my attitude. He would tell them about my mouth. But then I wasn't innocent, because if he ticked me off, I would go to my mother, to my father, to one of my brothers, to my cousins, to some of my friends, and I would tell them what he was doing or what he wasn't doing and how he was treating me and how he was talking to me. And they hated him. A lot of them, they hated him. Now, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying. I really was telling the truth. And I'm going to just say this. This is just me. A lot of stuff that I experienced with him, I'm going to just say it. I feel like he was worse than how he treated me, because I'm not a cheater. I never cheated. And so there was something else that I had to deal with amongst a whole bunch of other stuff. And so what would happen is that it was days. This is real talk. We would be separate. And he would, like I said, be with his mother, his family, and I would be with mine. And later that evening, when we came together to come home, we would start confronting each other. He'd be like, oh, so you talked to your mother and you told your mother I did ABC? Oh, you talked to your father and you told your father I did ABC? Oh, you talked to blah, 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 and you told them da, da, da? And I would come in his head about stuff he told too. Because see, what was happening too, this is how the enemy works. This is how confusion comes up, people. That's why I'm telling you all this. The devil is real. Confusion and divisiveness is real. Disorder and chaos is real. These are spirits. And the whole time, as quick as I would tell my mother and father something, they'd be on the phone calling him. As quick as he would tell his mother or his sister or his cousins, they'd be on the phone calling me, or they'd be calling him. And it would be a bunch of stuff lost in translation. Some people would add to it. Some people would take away from it. But when we saw each other, when we got home that evening, fists was in the air. Horrible, volatile arguments was going on. He was cussing me out, threatening me and loud talking me, and I was cussing him out, threatening him and loud talking him. And sometimes he put a hand on me, and baby, I put a hand on him, and it was ugly. It got ugly. So if y'all not hearing this type of stuff about married couples, baby, take what you want. You can judge me on it. You can laugh at it. You can crack your jokes. You can write it down and take a picture. You can make it into a hat, a keychain, or a t-shirt. I'm revealing it, okay? Because I want you all who really are considering marriage, or some of you all in the midst of your marriage, you don't understand why you and your wife or you and your husband are at each other's heads. You don't understand why it's like you all hate each other. You went from making passionate love and going on vacations and laughing at each other and remembering the struggle as you were coming up as a couple, to where now you don't even want to see their face. You dread going home. You cry tears on your way coming home. You lay in that bed and it's supposed to be warm, but it's cold. The thought of them touching you disgusts you. If they rub past you, if they toe touches yours in the bed, you ready to go in. You don't even want to sleep in the room no more. Baby, it get ugly like that. It get ugly like that. It gets to the point where it's not even like they're your spouse anymore. It's like you're living with a roommate, and a roommate from hell. So on today, I am telling all of you beautiful people of all races, all ages, and all backgrounds who are of the legal age of 18 and up, and you are considering marriage, or if you are already married and you are at a place where you and your spouse are not getting along, I just want to tell you all in love and through the spirit, you have to leave your friends, your family members, your in-laws, and your co-workers out of your marital problems, issues, and situations. That is what I want to let you all know. If you all feel like you need to vent, the Bible says seek wise counsel. If you just have to go and talk to somebody, make sure they are a trustworthy person, or you need to look up a counselor or a therapist that specializes in counseling and helping married couples. Seek wise counsel. When you are married, this is a different level. This is a different playing field. You cannot be blabbing off at your mouth. And I know, even for the younger couples, I know this is not easy. It's not easy. Because when you furious with your wife or you furious with your husband, you want people to know about it. You want to talk about it. You don't want to sit on it a couple of days or a couple of weeks. You got to get it out. So I'm not telling you all to keep it as a secret, because when it's abuse going on in the marriage, you need to be talking about that, because you all can literally delete each other. Couples, every day I get and delete it. Open up your eyes. So if this video can save a life of a married couple, okay, or if it can bring you all back together and help to put things in perspective, then so be it. I've done my part. Keep your mouth closed. You and your spouse need to go in y'all corner, calm down, and figure out how to come back together. Be slow to anger. Be patient with your husband or your wife. When hard times come, you all need to be praying. Pray with each other. Pray for each other. You all need to be united. And that is the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go, because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I am not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.